Hi, everyone. I'm Monique with MD Consulting. I'm here to talk to you today about time management. Now, I work with senior leaders, and many people say to me, by the time someone gets to be a senior leader, they should already know how to manage their time. They should not need coaching on how to manage their time. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. Senior leaders are very protective over their time, as they should be. And because they are senior leaders, they are constantly being bombarded and they are filled with overwhelm. They have a lot on their plate and they do struggle with time management with or without an assistant. Some do have assistants, some don't. It doesn't matter. They still struggle with time management. So I have come to find that time management can be divided into 3 areas. And that the term time management is strictly just an umbrella term for 3 components underneath it. Those 3 components are the things I'll talk to you about today: organizing, planning, and managing. So let's start with organizing. That simply means to organize your environment, your physical environment within your office, your furniture, your file cabinets, if you have any, your bookshelf. Make sure everything has been cleaned up, cleaned off, and then it's organized. If you are in an environment where there's a lot of clutter, it will be a distraction, whether you know it or not, and you won't be able to manage your time. So clean up your physical environment and then clean up your electronic environment, meaning emails, electronic folders, electronic files. Purge what you don't need, keep what you do need, but put it into alphabetized file folders. That way, when you need something, you know where to get it. Many people spend and waste a lot of time looking for emails, looking for documents because they're not filed appropriately. So organizing your environment is the first step, and it's very important even before we talk further about any type of time management. You've got to organize your environment. Planning is the next component. Planning means setting your goals. Now, if you work in an organization and you are a senior leader, most of the time your goals will be dictated to you from higher levels of management on down, and then you are expected to filter those even further down to the frontline people. So those goals are actually what helps you to know how to manage your time. Those goals are what you should be working on a daily basis. And I'll say more about that in a few minutes. Planning also involves setting boundaries. Setting boundaries with people in your company, with people in your life, because many times time is wasted by people who walk over your boundaries and they suck up your time. They really distract you from doing the work that you need to do. So we call some of these people time vampires. And I'm sure many of you have time vampires in your world. And it's very important to set boundaries with them. Now, you can also be your own time vampire. And what I mean by that is that you can be in your head too much, you can be overanalyzing, overthinking, over-researching, being overly critical of yourself. All of those negative thoughts also take up your time. So look at the time vampires in your life and in your world. Set boundaries with them, and then make sure you're clear on what your goals are. What are you supposed to be working on as part of your role? Also, if you're not delegating, you're not setting boundaries. You need to be delegating. You need to take things off of your plate that don't belong there. So that all falls under the planning component of time management. Now, the third and final component is managing your time and tasks. And that involves using tools like a task list, the calendar function in your email, and making sure you have these tools up and running and that you know how to use them. With the task list, you need to be listing out your daily tasks and putting them in that list. No more sticky notes. If you use a paper planner, you'll have to try to transition to electronic if possible. It is much more efficient on a daily basis. You will also want to break those goals into chunks. So any goals that you're given from higher leadership for the year, for the company that you're working in, need to be broken into chunks so that you can be working on them monthly, daily, and make sure you're making progress on them on a regular basis. So you break those into chunks, they go into your task list. Anything that will help you achieve those goals becomes a task. It goes into your task list. Once you have your task list, you want to do what is called time blocking in your calendar. You want to take out tasks, lump all the like tasks together, and work on them at the same time. So if you spend, say, 3 hours a day on emails and you're jumping around all day, back and forth checking emails, you're probably wasting time. You want to dedicate a certain amount of time every day to emails and then leave the emails alone for the rest of the day and work on other things. The only exception to that is if urgent emails come through or if they're labeled urgent, but not everything is urgent. And I think that's where many people make the mistake. So managing, which is the third component, involves using the electronic tools that you have, email, calendar, and task list, and separating your goals into chunks, putting them in the task list, and then blocking time out on your calendar to work on them on a daily basis. The final part of managing is shifting those time blocks. So if you have something more urgent come up, you move a time block to a different day or time, and that's perfectly okay to do. You want to get in the mindset that you are in charge of your time. Time is not in charge of you. So you are perfectly allowed to move your time blocks around. It means that you're putting some deliberate thought into how you're spending your time each day. So I know that was a lot of information and probably pretty overwhelming. I've written a number of blogs and articles about time management. And in one of my books, which is on my website, it addresses time management. So if you want more information on that, feel free just to shoot me an email. We can set up a breakthrough session and I can explain more to you about how I can help you with time management. You can reach me at Monique@mdconsultingglobal.com. I hope this was helpful for you. Have a great day.